Fanatic Best of Podcasts are presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app.
B-Pod Studios.
97.5 The Fanatic.
Someone we don't hate absolutely is our friend up in New York, Adam Schefter. Adam, how you doing today, buddy?
Jamie, Bob, what's going on today?
Not much. We're going to change things around since we don't have Mr. Kincaid with us. He's doing that vacation stuff. And Jamie, who has Mr. Schefter brought to us?
Well,
Bob?
Adam joins us on the Comcast Business Hotline. Every day in business is a big day, so let Comcast Business keep you ready for what's next. And he joins us courtesy of our friends at DraftKings Sportsbook. Download America's top-rated sportsbook app.
So, Schefter...
Let me just say this before we get in. I was invited to come to the game in Philly tonight.
What? Oh, are you?
And honestly, I would have loved to have come and wanted to come. I have a long-standing commitment that I committed to today to play golf with a few people, and I couldn't get out of it.
Are we talking nice course? Didn't want to get out of it?
Yeah, no. It's a fun, but I committed.
Yeah.
A long time ago, and then I got a call, and someone said, "Hey, you want to come join us for the Sixers game on Wednesday night, Game 5?" I'm like. I said, "Oh God, honestly, I would love to have done that. It would have been great coming to Philly for the day, night, going to the game." And so I did take a rain check with the idea that they're going to win the series.
They will.
And so then at some point, hopefully, I'll get to go to one of the Eastern Conference Finals games.
Well, Shefty, we do a pregame show down at the Wells Fargo Center. So if you are coming to a game, make sure you text me and we can get together before the game and maybe share some ideas. But I'll throw a loaded question out to you right now because I think we're going to tap into NBA, Shefty, mostly today.
Yeah,
is there anything major going on in the NFL that we need to know about here in Philadelphia?
No, I don't think so right now. Well, I told you that I had that dream that they traded for Julio Jones the week that Julio was traded. And they were fishing around there, as they should have been, right? Just checking it out to see if there's anything that could be done. I think, look, the NFL world, we are about to enter into what should be, you never know, the quietest period. Everybody's waiting to see what happens with Aaron Rodgers. Everybody's waiting to see what happens with Deshaun Watson. But outside of that, there's nothing obvious to me. Zach Ertz, that's a down-the-line issue. It's a tough situation because he would like a new contract. He would like to be out. Nobody's going to be willing to take on that contract. Not with the way he played last year. And if he can get back to his form, then the Eagles have an asset. It's just a complicated situation. But, again, we're in the quietest time of the NFL year. And barring something changing, it should be relatively quiet for the next few weeks. Should be.
Well, Adam, there's actually there's a huge pressing Eagles question we have to get to. There was a big signing this week. Quarterback Nick Mullins is brought into town. Do you think, Nick, if I asked you, Adam Schefter, right now, Nick Mullins or Joe Flacco, who's better, what would you say?
Well, they're different kind of guys. First of all, it's a situation where Nick Mullins is coming off serious surgery to his elbow. And obviously he is going to be okay, otherwise Philadelphia wouldn't have signed him. And he is a coach in the making. He's brilliant, so smart. And I almost think that, look, it's
like a Josh McCown type signing?
Well, yeah, and there's not a lot of risk in either one. So you bring them both in, and you see who looks better, who fits better, who's the better fit to complement what you're trying to do, and then you make a decision. I think maybe they want to see how Nick Mullins bounces back from the elbow surgery. They want to be around him. Joe Flacco, we know, is a veteran. Does he still have the hunger that he wants to go out there and put himself through this? Apparently he does. So I think it's almost like may the best man win. It would be hard for me to imagine they're keeping both those guys, carrying three quarterbacks, but quarterbacks are valuable, so you never know.
Shefty, I want you to take off your reporter's hat and your good guy down the middle, professional that you are, and ask you this question. I want you to respond as a fan. Do you have trouble watching Trae Young play basketball?
I remember hearing a couple of years ago that not all his teammates loved playing with him. Just kind of chatter that you hear in NBA circles. And when you watch, it's different. It's not pure and traditional. I don't have a hard time because I think everybody has a different skill set, though I do think it's an acquired taste. I do think there's an acclimation period. Look, again, when they traded that pick for they traded Luka in a 1, or they traded Luka to get back Trey in a 1. I told you, I called somebody I know in the organization. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I never understood that from the get-go, from the jump. I always thought, and it's easy for me to say it now, but there was a fascination I had with Luka coming out. And I just thought that's the guy that I'd want on my like I was really hoping the Knicks got him. Really hoping the Knicks got him. And, of course, that was the year I think they didn't do well in the lottery, and they got Kevin Knox, I believe it was. Of course. And so would I rather have Luka? Of course, yeah, still. But I think Trey, I mean, he's a young superstar in this league. There's no doubt about that. It is different. It is different. What is the league-wide perception from your vantage point?
Well, Shefty, I was public enemy number 1 down in Atlantic Sports Radio yesterday because I said that Trae Young plays with no honor. And when I say that, it's mostly in jest. But when you see him, and look, Woj, your buddy, tweeted it out yesterday. The NBA is reviewing this. The unnatural shooting motions that him and James Harden, occasionally Chris Paul and some other players pull off, I think is offensive to the game. And it's gotten so bad that the league is going to intervene and basically make it, going forward, an offensive foul. I hate that he's too good of a player to me to do that crap, and I really find it tough to watch.
You're talking about like jumping into the guy, leaning in, and drawing the foul, that kind of thing?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't love that. I don't like that maneuver either. If they want to eliminate that maneuver, that's fine by me. The places that he shoots from are incredible, but his range is unbelievable. So when he plays with honor tonight and goes for like 41, it's going to be your fault?
Yes, entirely. I'll be public enemy. I'm deleting my Twitter. I'm deactivating. I'm getting offline.
You'll go from public enemy number 1 in Atlanta to public enemy number 1 in Philadelphia because you lit the fire under Trae Young to get him going tonight. That's what's going to happen, right?
Exactly.
Oh my God.
This really is a big game. A big game for them, right?
82% of teams that win this game 5 when tied 2-2 go on to advance. So, yeah, it's pretty huge.
I mean, last night, Game 5, Milwaukee, Brooklyn, KD put on a performance for the ages. That was unbelievable. Carried the team to victory by himself, basically. And now tonight, it's up to these guys. I find it funny. The Sixers keep listing Joel Embiid questionable every game.
Yeah, they're going to do that throughout the playoffs.
I'm thinking, is there anybody who thinks he's not playing tonight? Anybody?
Not in this area, Shefty. That's for sure.
I mean, he did go down towards the end of the game last game, right? Like it looked like he got a little banged up there, but there wasn't anything new added on, correct?
No, going down is something that Joel Embiid does quite often during a basketball team. He hits the floor more than anyone I've ever seen.
It's funny because this morning one of my buddies sent me his DraftKings lineup. He said, I'm just waiting on Embiid's status. I said, allow me to tell you right now, he's playing. like waiting on his status. What status?
Yeah, I think your prediction there is pretty good. Shefty, I'm going to let you go on this one. I need your prediction on who's going to be playing for the Eastern Conference Finals next week.
Oof. Well, I'm going to go Philly, and I guess I'm going to go Brooklyn now because I think Milwaukee will win the next game, and they'll come home to Brooklyn. I don't think Brooklyn's going to lose 2 in a row with Harden back. And I know he wasn't Harden last night, but I have to think that he's going to have a little bit of an acclimation period here. He'll get back to being James Harden, and if and when he does that they're not going to beat them. And Charles Barkley was pretty funny at halftime last night. He kind of contradicted himself. He goes, I think the Milwaukee Bucks are going to win the NBA championship, but they are the dumbest team out there. well, how can you be the dumbest team out there and expect to win in this round and then in the next round and then in the finals? Like, you can't be a dumb team and do that no matter how good you are because there just are too many good basketball teams. Philly, Brooklyn. I mean, it's not going to happen. And sure enough, they blew what was a 17-point lead last night, and Brooklyn came back behind KD and won. Now, whether that was because Milwaukee was dumb, as Charles is saying, or Brooklyn just had sheer determination and force to overcome that deficit, maybe it was a little bit of both. But you can't play that dumb and expect to prevail round after round against good teams. You just can't do that.
Well, Shefty, hopefully next week we'll be talking to you about Eastern Conference Final with these 76ers involved. Appreciate you joining us, talking some hoops today, and we will talk to you again next week.
76ers Brooklyn would be kind of cool because then it'd be easy for me to go to one of the games. It would be, like an hour commute roughly. So,
hey, hit them straight today, Shefty.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I appreciate it, guys. Thanks so much. Sorry I'm with you tonight, but I'll be watching.
You got it.
And Shefty is brought to us, as always, by our friends at DraftKings Sportsbook. Download America's top-rated sportsbook app.